You would think. Rule number 5, don't snort into the microphone.
Or drink really hot coffee.
Yeah.
Did you see that face, folks? That was a real mouth burn. Cafecito.
Cheers. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Mo and O Show. My name is Omar Gonzalez.
And I am Mo Morales.
And we are friends.
No, we're not. But
you never told me.
I pretend.
Anyway, this podcast is about photography, tech, life, and coffee.
I love coffee.
What's your go-to coffee?
I usually prefer a nice little bird coffee. Well, it doesn't matter to me. I usually go like chock full of nuts or
You get your coffee or
8
you make
o'clock
it?
coffee.
What do you make in the morning?
I make a run to get.
Wow, lazy butt.
No. Actually, I have a French press.
Oh, okay.
And I prefer, I can't remember. Is it 8 o'clock coffee?
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock
That's
coffee?
what you're drinking? Man,
Yeah,
I am definitely a coffee snob.
Yeah, you are, because to me, that is such a step up from my Keurig quick dispense type of thing.
I think Keurigs are dying.
I think Keurigs is the bane of evil. I think they destroyed coffee for everyone because now you just settle for garbage coffee because you make garbage coffee at home.
It's not bad. Keurigs aren't bad. The thing is
No.
like so wasteful. The pods, getting pods, I don't see it.
Well, don't tell me you'd rather have a Keurig cup of coffee over a 7-Eleven cup of coffee, a Starbucks cup of coffee.
I could argue my aunt had a Keurig that had like her pods were like high quality pods.
Oh.
And they were good. And I used to make it stronger. Like you can pick your power on the Keurig.
Yes,
I would
yeah.
make like the espresso one.
The small cup
Yeah.
instead of the big mug.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would argue that I would rather have Keurig, yes, than 7-Eleven.
No, not to me. I mean, you know what? Who I'd rather have? And we're not sponsored by any of these people, by the way.
I forgot to tell you, buddy. 7-Eleven called.
Will you please push our coffee like nobody's business? No, but I prefer if you're gonna go fast, quick coffee that you pick up out in the store. I prefer McDonald's coffee.
McDonald's is decent. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the best coffee on the run to grab. It's just never convenient for me because there's no McDonald's near me. So.
Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts. People like Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Starbucks, I used to hate because I always thought it tastes burnt, but I would rather do Starbucks over McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts.
No, to me, Starbucks still falls to the bottom when it's straight coffee.
It's because you like junky coffee.
I guess so. I mean, I prefer, McDonald's, Wawa, 7-Eleven, and then Starbucks, but never their coffee. I would prefer to get like a caramel macchiato. Grande.
Yeah, let's put all the sugar and caramel on it.
To disguise the horrible taste of this burnt coffee. Yes. But you know what?
Sponsored by Starbucks.
But no, take all that back. I do like the Starbucks ecosystem. You walk in there, you know what you're expecting in the store. You get the little delicious little snacks.
Yeah. I went to the little snacks and bought a juice. It was like $5. Damn.
Yeah, but you gotta know what you're going in there. You're going in there to give them money.
Lots of damn
it.
good juice, actually.
That's what it is. Like they have those little lemon pound cakes, and you're like, I don't believe I've ever had a lemon pound. Like this is delicious. Did God make this?
Well, we've been to France and have had chocolate croissants, and this is sacrilegious if you're from France. But their chocolate croissants are kick-ass.
They're very good. Like
Yeah.
even their blueberry. I had a blueberry yogurt scone the other day, and I was like, why? Why is it so delicious? Why am I going to have to come back here sometime this week to get another one of these? I'm trying to eat right, be right, and instead I'm just being fat and delicious.
Yeah, so we're having coffees. I am definitely a coffee snob. I own a Rocket espresso machine, which cost me over $2,000.
He is a coffee snob, but I tell you what, I'd rather have Omar's coffee than anyone else's coffee.
Brother.
So that's why I come over. Like I said, we're not friends.
Yeah.
I leech his coffee. That's what it is.
I just made this for you. Now, this coffee is from Hoboken, a little roasty place. It's called, I forgot what it's called. The Empire Coffee Company.
Yes. I love
We're
it.
not sponsored, of course, by anyone, but Empire, if you're in the Hoboken area, Empire Coffee on 3rd.
4th and Bloomfield.
Yeah, 4th and Bloomfield. They have, you can buy by the pound. This is the Colombian, their house blend. And we buy beans, we grind beans. I French press, we have a drip, but in the afternoon, it's cappuccinos. A cappuccino.
God bless you. Is that contagious?
And you know what they call them in Italy?
Cappuccino Royale.
A Royale with cheese. They call them capuch.
God bless you.
Yeah, exactly. And I went up to the, I was in Italy and I was like, first of all, if you're in Italy, you can only have a cappuccino in the morning. It's like a breakfast thing.
Really?
Yeah. So in the afternoon, I asked for a cappuccino because
Do you get those looks?
I'm American. No, the woman was nice. She's like, un cappuccio.
Esta hora, un cappuccio.
Apparently, she was Hispanic.
My story. It was close enough.
But it's funny when she told someone to make it. She's like, una cappuccio.
Awesome.
Again, we are an audio podcast, but if you want to see the visual podcast, we have a YouTube channel. Just search for the Mo and O Show, and we put up little useless pictures like this one. Ding. All right, I am wearing a Spider-Man shirt, and Mo is wearing a Captain America. Really quick, which movie is better? The Winter Soldier or the Spider-Man? Not Tobey Maguire.
There is no. You.
The new one. The
No. I know what you're talking about.
What's it
Everything in the comments, folks, but keep it clean because you're about to hate me. There is no good Spider-Man movie. There are movies that are not as bad as the other ones, but there is no good Spider-Man movie.
I think I have to kind of agree with you.
I think the last one was one of the better ones. I think I enjoyed Tom Holland.
Yes.
I enjoyed him very well. I think parts of it, like the MJ bit and his friend. What was his friend's name?
His friend was
Ned. I think Ned was too over the top for me. But there is no good Spider-Man movie out there. I think they're if they let Marvel keep creating them, there's a lot of hope. I think I liked his role in the Avengers movie, the
Yes.
Infinity War movie. I loved his role there.
He seemed powerful in that. He was like holding his own.
Right.
Although he was a dork and a kid.
He was him.
like, hey guys, remember when he throws the thing?
Yeah.
Hey buddy, you dropped this?
Yeah, he was so Spider-Man.
Yeah, boom.
He was so Spider-Man. But
They took a step back, I think, with like not having an origin story, but showing him still with growing pains.
I think in 2018, do we need another origin? I
I
think
wish
that
they
was
would have made Spider-Man. I mean, I like the young Spider-Man, but when I picked up the comic, and by the way, those of you that are here for photography, see you later. Mo and I love comics. I love comic movies, so we will talk about this from time to time. But when I picked up the Spider-Man comics, he was already about to marry MJ. Mm-hmm. He was a man. He had a job. He had his apartment. And so that's the one that resonates with me is that Spider-Man.
right.
I wasn't there in the 60s when he was a high school kid. What made him popular?
Right. But that's what I agree with you. I mean, they haven't made one that has leaped him completely into the world of him as an adult dealing with what he deals with. I think, thinking back through comic lore and Spider-Man specifically, what's your favorite storyline? Did you remember?
Like from the comics, Spider-Man comics?
Yeah. And if you didn't read comics, shame on you. There's apps that you can actually download comics. Was it Unlimited
Marvel Unlimited.
Marvel Unlimited. And there's also they have DC Universe one. We're not Omar's probably less DC than I am.
Absolutely.
But there's apps for both that you could get all the historical comics and don't miss anything. What was your favorite story?
I feel that my peak Spider-Man love was when the Hobgoblin was around. I guess I was younger, and I felt like the Hobgoblin was this like crazy, we don't know who he is enemy. So that was one of my storylines.
My favorite Spider-Man storyline of all time was the crossover of all the comics, all the Spider-Man line comics, Peter Parker, Spectacular Peter Parker, The Amazing Spider-Man, whereas with Craven.
Oh,
the
Craven the Hunter. Yeah,
when he
had the black costume in that.
Yeah, when he actually killed Spider-Man. And I thought that was the most amazing.
Buried alive.
And they weren't afraid to push the envelope at the end of the series where,
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
I want to spoil so badly. All right, I won't spoil it. But yeah.
We'll put the issue here. Do you remember the number? How much of a comic nerd are you?
No, not that much. I would say, what, $199, $299?
260s. No, let's see. 252 is the black Spider-Man costume, and he had the black costume in there, but not the symbiote. He probably had the cloth.
Yeah, the clothy one.
One. So let's go back to the movie. So I enjoyed, the latest Spider-Man, which is called Homecoming. That's what it's called. I enjoyed it, but I rate the movies on how rewatchable they are. Like for example, the first Batman. Can you watch that Batman Begins? There's a lot of lead up to before he becomes the Batman. Can you rewatch and rewatch and rewatch that?
From that trilogy, the first one is the least easy to watch.
But which one can you rewatch?
The Dark Knight.
Exactly.
The Dark Knight is just the greatest.
The performances, Heath Ledger. So you can rewatch that once. That makes that a great comic movie, right?
Yep, and I'm not really that guy who gets upset about Christian Bale's.
Yeah, I got to disagree with you. I rewatched it on the
You're a
plane.
sound guy though. You hate those kind of noises.
What do you mean? Where were the other drugs going? Where are they? Where are they?
To me, it didn't bother me. I mean, I think I'll cover something in a second, but I think how they did it with Ben Affleck and that voice undulator or whatever he had, that made his voice sound different.
Yeah.
Tell me, do you bleed?
That's the best way to do it, but they didn't think about that, with Christopher Nolan's version. And I think The Dark Knight is one of the best superhero movies ever.
Flat out.
I mean, unfortunately he died,
Yeah.
but he owned that movie. Ledger.
Yeah,
he owned that movie. Like, I had never seen a Joker on film or TV that scared me.
Absolutely.
He scared me. How he played the good guys, the bad. He was the Joker.
My gosh,
I mean,
good. So I was saying that I based a movie based on my rewatch, and I put Homecoming on the plane on the ride to Costa Rica. I put it on again, and I found myself a little bored.
I think it was marketed for young children, teenagers.
Yeah, PG-13.
More than it was marketed to adults. They want to create a market that will grow with time.
Yeah.
As opposed to us old fogies who remember what we remember, because the whole excess high school stuff was wearing me out.
Well, I mean, if you read the backstory on that, it was like a Breakfast Club homage.
It wore me out. I mean,
Yeah.
To me, I never hated the movie. I kind of enjoyed the movie.
What'd you think of Flash Thompson?
I was kind of like, really? I mean,
but he's the modern Flash Thompson, like that is the bully. Like that's the kid who makes fun.
And maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm not modern.
You're not modern enough.
I'm what they call archaic. Maybe I'm just too far, removed from the kids today.
All right. So for me, it wasn't. Yeah. Let's floss.
Is that what it's called?
Yes. For
Don't
those
ever
of
do that
you
again.
listening to the audio, you'll have to check our YouTube channel for this.
I just hurt myself. Okay. Oh gosh.
However, for Captain America: Winter Soldier, I can rewatch it, especially that damn elevator scene.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
That's just like you're about to get your butt whooped.
Hold on, we need Cap.
Omar's walking across the room. He's picking up his cap, and he's beholding him here.
Nerd.
Yes.
All right, we got Cap. Yeah, we need Cap. We're talking about him, but I felt this was a rewatchable movie.
It was. It is. I could watch this one over and over again. This one is up there with the first Avengers.
Agreed.
I think parts of a movie that I could watch 1,000 times. Of a movie I did not like, Batman versus Superman.
Okay.
When Batman is in the warehouse and he just whoops everyone's butt.
Best scene in that movie.
That is the best scene in that movie. I could watch that 1,000 times, so I have to fast forward to get there. But I think
Chapter search.
that's when Ben Affleck, with the direction he had, actually captured Batman. I don't think
That was very Arkham video game-ish.
Yes, especially when he threw that box on people. He doesn't kill people, but I don't know.
I don't like any of those movies.
Yeah, DC makes it so hard to root for them in their movies.
Are you going to see Aquaman?
No, I'm going to see Aquaman eventually, but I will not go theater money for it.
Wow. That's from a DC fan, people.
No, listen, I have not enjoyed Wonder Woman. And everyone liked Wonder Woman. You know why? Because someone with a different perspective.
Wait, you just said I didn't enjoy Wonder Woman.
No, I said...
You just cut yourself off.
Yeah,
Got it.
I was in mid-sentence. I said I never enjoyed any of the movies, but then I had to stop because I really enjoyed Wonder Woman. There were so many parts in Wonder Woman. I can't say doubles back to back. There were so many parts in Wonder Woman that made me go, wow. If someone else from DC is paying attention, make a movie like this.
That's an origin story.
Yes, and they did it so well. And her naiveness and her coming to America and everything was so amazing. The fight scenes
when she takes that tank out, or when she goes through the. How about the room in that
whole room where she
slow-mo
foot sweeps people.
See, this is an aside, but what are your thoughts about watching previews? I do not watch previews. I can't because I am such a non-spoiler person. They showed that slide 1,000 times in every Wonder Woman preview.
Yeah. Now, when Omar and I started talking about 4 or 5 years ago about movies, and I was a big YouTube head, I used to say, "Hey, Omar, did you watch this preview?" He's like, "I don't watch previews." I'm like, "Well, excuse me, Mr. Uppity." But then I stopped watching previews, and I've enjoyed movies more that way myself. But there's sometimes when you go watch a movie, they force you to watch the preview.
Oh, I close my eyes.
Yeah,
If you were to look over at
I'm
me
gonna
in the
sneeze.
theater, I would be like, la, 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 la. You would make fun of me.
And another thing, superhero movies, stop taking your masks off just to show the actor's face.
Yeah, that happened with Tom Holland and Spider-Man.
All the
And
Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire in the subway when he's,
why, the original reason was because the costume couldn't like show expression, but now we have like the Spider-Man eyes. But again, it's to show Tom Holland. So we're in this Infinity War. He had his mask off, like in space and stuff.
Now, the one thing, one of the few things that I enjoyed from the Homecoming movie, there was a comic book where he was trapped in the bottom of the ocean with an entire building on him, and his normal strength level should not have allowed him to pick up that building and get out of there and survive, but he did. And I was like, in the comic book, I'm reading it and I'm getting goosebumps. And I'm like, wow, that's so amazing. And when they replicated something like that in the movie,
They did.
I was so like, yes. And you did it in a way where I could appreciate it. It's not done garbage. It was
Absolutely.
done in a way I could appreciate it. So there was a lot of good things in that movie. Like I said, it's the best Spider-Man movie to date. It's just still not a great movie.
I know how to save the Superman franchise. Right now.
Have someone else play him besides Henry Cavill?
Well, that's a given.
Him and his mustache.
But listen to, yeah, oh my gosh. Why don't they do Superman in like the 50s? You know, it was like the heyday of Superman. The setting is beautiful. The costumes would be beautiful. The cars would be beautiful. And it would be, yeah, maybe another origin story, but we would get Superman with his bright colors in the 1950s and have a story just based on that.
I think
Instead of this modern with and also you could even bring Batman back to the 50s, and then his costume could be the one with the padding on it, you know, a la the statue I have.
Yeah, I think the studios are afraid of that because they want to appeal to the young kids. They want to appeal to the kids for what they see today.
I think they were too old.
I think that's the biggest problem with all our movies is how much studio interference there is.
Yeah,
you know,
you're
I
right.
think there's no way you'll ever see
But
it.
tell me it was a good idea.
It was a great idea.
Yay. I apologize if you were here for photography, but we're going to be
geeks.
us, yo.
We're nerds.
Yeah.
We are. You see what I'm wearing? I mean, hey.
All right, so today's photography topic is something for beginners because a lot of people are trying to upgrade their camera to a better camera and a more expensive camera and a full-frame sensor camera, but a lot of times it's not the camera.
It's all the light. It's what are you doing with the light you have available or creating?
Exactly. So if you're going to take pictures of people, what are some light situations you should avoid?
You should avoid having people looking directly into a large, strong source of light, aka the sun.
The sun.
Like there's nothing more attractive to take a photo of people like this.
Yeah, squinting. I
I'm
think
squinting for those who are listening.
the most beginner people will put people in the sun because that's where the light. It makes total sense. That's where the light's going. Let's put them in the sun.
Even the people taking the photo be like, "Oh no, wait, the sun's over here. Let me face it."
Yeah. So your cell phone is probably good enough to expose if you put people with the sun to their back. So think about that first. Is actually if you put the sun, if you make everyone turn around so the sun is to their back. The camera can start exposing now they're going to have like some nice, you know, halo-y light behind them, but they can sometimes be exposed by the camera's sensor. So that's number one is don't put people in the sun. Their eyes will squint, and it's also very harsh lighting.
Very harsh.
Yeah.
Very harsh. No one likes harsh lighting. And don't listen to the rumor out there, the people who know nothing about photography that say, you can't take a good picture on a cloudy day.
Oh,
That's a
clouds
lie.
are the best. Okay,
They're
so
your friends.
let's say you are out in the sun. Okay, if you want better light, the first thing is to find some open shade. And be careful, though, because the first place we find open shade is usually under trees.
And what happens with trees?
Trees are usually over grass, and grass is green. And so what happens is you can change the color of your light. Okay, so you then start to get some green hues from the photograph. So the second thing besides, you know, the direction of light is the color of light.
Color light is so important because it can make a beautiful picture look sickly and green.
Yeah, orange. I remember the first time. I mean, we all have done this before where we take a picture indoor and it's completely orange and you don't know why. That's called white balance.
White balance is when your camera looks at an object and assumes these are the natural colors of gray. And unfortunately, what happens is
Stupid.
it makes a very bad call. It makes your whole face orange and you like apples and pears. And I don't know where I'm going with
Yeah, and it's an easy fix if you understand how to work your camera. You just have to tell your camera what white is. And there's a couple of ways to do it, but if you're starting out, there's usually a button that says WB for white balance. If you're in a room with orange light, just put the light bulb setting on there and the camera will be like, oh, the room has to be orange. Let's adjust everything for that situation, and you start to get better skin, better light. So it's not your camera, it's your light. If you're taking pictures taking a photograph indoors, you can use the window. But where should you put your subjects?
If you put the window behind them, the camera is not going to be able to dissect and understand what should be bright, what should be dark, and whatever's behind them is going to be completely overblown if you're going to get the person in perfect exposure.
Yeah, so my suggestion is if you're just taking a picture of two people and the background is not important, turn them around. Turn them around so that you're using the window light.
A nice soft light.
And it's beautiful, especially if there's like nice shears or a sheer drape over there. That will give you the best light. And I don't care what camera you have. If it's a 1 megapixel camera or a full frame, that really soft light on people's skin evenly lights up their face, gives them a beautiful catch light. It's great light.
Okay, when Omar says, put them where they're facing the window, remember, if the sun is blaring through that window, it erases everything he just said. So,
exactly. Sorry. Yeah, you need to sort of soften that light.
So hopefully a nice little set of drapes, like he said, or it's coming at such an angle that it's just creating, overflow light onto their face.
I like that. That's my favorite. I all kinds of difficult lighting setups. This last shoot I did for the orthodontist, remember I put up one for Instagram? All I did was there was a window with shears on it, and I was just got the subject really close to the window, and I'm loving the look of a beautiful, huge catch light. They call it garage lighting, by the way.
Did they?
Yeah, so what people do, like children photography or headshot photographers, is you can get great lighting from your garage.
Yeah, Raj.
Just at the edge of your garage, if you sit down the subject, you get that really huge catch light in the eyes. And if you're watching on the YouTube channel, we'll put up an example of that. But that's a good place to start. That's a really good light. Put people with beautiful soft window light coming in. That's good light. Garage, what other suggestions do you have? We have shade, cloudy day. We have shade, but don't go over trees because color of light.
You can't be over something that's going to throw color tone back on your subject. Usually concrete.
Yeah.
Best friend.
Gray concrete.
Gray concrete, cobblestone. I love cobblestones.
Yeah, it does wonders for skin. Again, going back to the color of light, Hoboken cobbles. Great. I see people shoot on red brick. And I learned early on, I didn't know what was wrong with my pictures in Lightroom, but I was going back and forth with like the different sliders to try to, what is wrong with the skin? I couldn't figure it out. And it was that I was shooting on red brick. Shooting on colored cobbles.
So your background was a red brick, or is the floor
the floor, the ground. And if I see a lot of our downtowns here in New Jersey have red brick, I will avoid like the plague. I look for gray sidewalks. I look for black asphalt, and
gotta like that black asphalt, son.
I thought you were you heard the word ass.
Yeah, I did.
Fault. Yeah, I know you. I know you. Two major things you can do if you're starting to work with either flashes or window. The larger your light source, the softer it is. So you want really big lights. Other photographers make fun of me because I walk around with a huge, I call it Big Mama, like Zach Arias, stole it from Zach Arias. It's like a 7-8 foot umbrella.
And there's nothing wrong from stealing from Zach Arias.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He is so amazing.
Yeah.
Steal all you can. But anyway, the Big Mama.
Yeah, Big Mama. I put a sheer over Big Mama, and I make my own window light. Just try to soften and make the light as big as possible, and then I move it
as close as possible to the subject.
Oh, you passed the test. Awesome there. You move it as close as possible, and that's how you get nice light. The bigger it is and the closer it is, it looks like
the softer it is.
Yeah.
So remember that if you take that same light source, which I think I know, is this the one by that Einstein the Einstein umbrella?
That broke on me.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah, but
good.
that was a good one. That was 8 foot mother. Yeah.
I have that one, and I've not been able to open it anywhere.
I'll buy it from you.
Okay. And sold.
If you don't use it. I loved it. It was very bulky to set up, but
I have not been able to open it anywhere, but I saw you using it. I'm like, I have to buy this. I have to, again, back to the first episode,
Yeah.
buy all the photography.
Yeah.
So I saw Omar and I saw the pictures he was getting from it. I'm like, I want it.
Yeah.
And I got it. I haven't been able to open it. I do a lot of my shoots indoors.
yeah, you have like little quick flashes that work for you
Yeah.
when you're on the run, right? Like
Right.
the rapid box you use for a while.
Yes. And that's all. I have a whole speed lighting, get up and run set up, but I can't set this thing. So yeah, we'll talk off camera.
Yeah, good price. You like, you buy. Yeah, I think people just know that it's not so much about your gear and your camera and your sensor. It's where you're placing your subject a lot of times.
Yes, because we got amazing photos when we first started, and we were using the D40. What did you have when you first started?
Canon wise, you mean? Yeah, I had the Rebel. I'll try to find a Rebel picture here of where I discovered, wow, good light is good.
And I had the Nikon D5000, which is entry level.
Is it Rebel or is it above
It's
that?
it's like next level entry.
Maybe like our 40 or 30D.
It's not. So it's the D3000 series, the D5000 series, this D7000
All APS?
series. Yes.
Yeah.
And then from here you go full frame.
Got it.
So it's like, mid level, and
All right.
and it I thought forever that camera was garbage until I learned about lighting, and I learned.
You're going to give me a picture to put here on the YouTube channel?
Yes.
We talked superheroes today. Let us know if that was okay. We don't care anyway.
Yeah, because we tell you in the beginning, this is about photography, life, comics,
Coffee.
technology, coffee.
Listen, we
Are
like...
back to coffee. Can we talk more about coffee?
Yeah, we love to hang out anyway, so we're going to talk about what we talk about. And the goal is to get people who are like-minded,
And again, like Omar said,
which is a small mind.
my mind is like a pea. I have to pee now. But anyway, so remember, like Omar said, if you want to put a question in the Anchor app, talk it out. Give us about less than 20 seconds so we can keep them quick and simple. And we'll be more than happy to answer.
That'll be fun to hear actually from the maybe 100 listeners we have, which is great. Thank you for subscribing. We have like over 150 subscribers now.
That's amazing. I thought we would have like 2, you and I.
It doesn't matter. We're having a great time.
Yeah,
If it grows, it grows. Brother, love.
Yeah, baby.
Peace.